Now you think that restaurants, as fancy and expensive as they are, would just be happy with the fact that they make money on our "don't feel like cooking tonight" laziness. But alas, a few of them do have some tricks up their sleeves to get more of your money. Next time you go out to eat, make sure you know how to protect yourself from scammers. Probably the most important thing to bear in mind when you go to a restaurant is that you should know exactly how much you tip the waiter. You see, when you pay with your debit card, your tip is automatically charged to it for your convenience. However, this just might turn out to be a trap, and you won't even see it coming. There are dishonest workers who, upon getting the receipt and seeing how much you'd like to leave as a tip, have no problem changing it to an amount they deem more suitable. You may have been unhappy with the service or just not ready to fork over 20% of the bill. But this waiter probably doesn't give two hoots about that. So, the sneaky ones will charge you more than you specified without thinking twice. I mean, it's like the adult equivalent of changing report card Fs into Bs. Not that you ever did that, of course. Just like that, a waiter can easily change a 3 into an 8. The trouble is, they probably won't get caught if you're not vigilant enough yourself. And that's because the bill for the food might be charged to your account almost immediately. But the tip is usually held back for some hours or even days before showing up on your balance. And if it's not that large of an amount, you probably won't even notice the difference unless you go through your account every single day with a fine-tooth comb. The restaurant employees who use this scheme don't even need to drive the tip up too high. A few bucks here and there will leave them with a much more sizable paycheck by the end of the month. If you want to save your money from such scammers, it's always best to get some proof while you still can. Write down the tip and total amount, and either ask your waiter to make a physical copy for you, or simply take a picture of your receipt before you leave. Then, if you notice anything unusual about the amount charged to your account later on, you can call the restaurant and explain the situation. You can also just call your bank and avoid this awkward conversation altogether. Your card provider will take it upon themselves for you. Convenient, huh? Also, if you're paying with your credit or debit card, as most of us do these days, right? You should always keep it with you. The first rule of safety and security is to never ever let your card be taken away from you. If a waiter doesn't bring the POS terminal to you, but asks you to give them your card, it's best to refuse or get up and walk to the register with them. Otherwise, if they're the dishonest type, they might copy your information from it, including the CVC code on the back, and soon enough, you'll start seeing some weird charges on your account. So it's best to just not risk it. Now, I know what you're thinking, well, I'll just start paying in cash all the time. Good idea. But it's not without its own risks. For example, let's say you dined for $70. You'd like to leave a tip of $15, making a total of $85. You give the waiter a $100 bill and wait for your change. Then you wait some more. And still some more. If the waiter doesn't show up for a considerable amount of time, you can assume they forgot about you and flag them down. It's understandable, they're super busy. A brief and polite reminder that you're still waiting for your change usually solves the issue. However, there are those restaurant workers who do this on purpose. It's not customary for a waiter to assume their tip is included in the amount they were given. Yet some of them simply forget to come back with the change in hopes you'll want to avoid confrontation. Others will even try to cheat you on your change. To avoid being robbed in such a blatant way, never hesitate to remind the waiter of your change and always count it before you leave. Another way restaurants may get a little richer at your expense is a fake menu. The scheme works like this. You're given a menu as soon as you sit down, and you're pleasantly surprised by the prices you see. Already stoked to have a delicious and cheap meal, you order plenty of stuff without thinking twice. Then, when the bill comes, your eyes really do get bigger than your already full belly. The amount you should pay for each item is much higher than it was before. Of course, in this case, you should immediately call the manager and ask them to explain the situation. The main problem is that the manager may also be in on the scheme. They might bring you another menu that looks exactly like the one you were given initially, but with different prices. I think you've already guessed that these prices would coincide with those on your receipt. Well, what else can you do? You could ask to see all the menus in the restaurant, but they're not going to give you the fake one. It's probably hidden somewhere, and you'll never know. Don't worry, it's not a completely hopeless situation. One thing you can do is simply ask the waiter to leave the menu for you in case you want to order something else. If they insist on taking it for some reason, though, this should serve as a red flag that something's not right. A restaurant should have enough menus to cover all the tables in all the rooms with at least one per table. But if they do take it away, make sure you first take a picture of each dish you've ordered with the price clearly visible in the shot. This way, you'll have documented proof of what you've seen and what you should pay. But the restaurant personnel may explain this scam by saying you've been given an old menu by mistake, so the prices aren't accurate. If this is the case, you have every right to pay for your meal according to that old menu. You were deliberately misinformed about the prices, which is actually enough to take legal action. You can point that out to the manager. This will normally solve the problem immediately. There's also one seemingly innocent scheme that some restaurants may use, but it's no less unpleasant if you do happen to come across it. Many places use coupons and flyers to lure customers in and let them know there are some amazing offers on their food. If you fall for such a thing, make sure you first check all the fine print on the piece of paper in your hands. Some coupons may already be expired. If you're not attentive to such tiny details, you may find yourself paying the full price for a meal you thought would be discounted. Flyers given out on the street are usually just trash used to lure you in, so don't even bother. If you get your hands on a restaurant discount coupon, ask the personnel about it before you make your order, not after. This way, you'll make sure that the coupon is still active and you can use it to pay less. Better still, check it for any hidden conditions beforehand, and find the place on the internet. Credible restaurants will always have an up-to-date website with all the information about their special offers, including coupons. If there's nothing on the web and your coupon doesn't have an obvious expiration date, the only thing you can do is ask the staff about it directly. Hey, whatever works. So, do you know any other schemes restaurant employees like to pull on customers? Please share them down in the comments. Don't forget to give this video a like, keep your friends in the know by sharing it with them, and click subscribe to always stay on the bright side of life.